Hello everybody, welcome back to Screen Stars and welcome to another of my film reviews. Today's film review is actually a documentary film and it came out in 2015 and it is called My Scientology Movie. And it is a film that is co-written and directed by John Doerr and it is presented by Louis Theroux. Now, for those of you who don't know who Louis Theroux is, if you're not from the UK, certainly, Louis Theroux has been on our TV screens in the UK since the 90s. He has always been able to make really quirky and interesting documentaries about a wide variety of subjects. You name it, he's done documentaries on wrestling. He's done documentary. He did this Louis Theroux Meets, where he meets these weird people or celebrities in the UK, and famously spent a lot of time with Jimmy Savile and did a documentary about Jimmy Savile. He's met neo-Nazis, he's been to prisons in the US, he's literally any pretty much right-wing subject that you can think of. Louis Theroux has done a documentary on it, and they are excellent documentaries, and I personally think Louis Theroux is arguably the best documentary filmmaker right now out there. Always fascinating subjects, and he's got this incredible style of interviewing people and presenting that is really, really laid back, but he still gets to the meat of the issues and asks all the right questions, and he's got a habit of almost becoming pally with the people that he is interviewing, and some of these people are quite extreme people, and he's just really, really brilliant at it. And in 2015 his first feature documentary, My Scientology Movie, was released, and this, I've only just recently seen this, and he says in this documentary that for a long time he's been fascinated with Scientology, and he's wanted to do this as a subject matter for a documentary for such a long time. However, in preparation for making this, he kept reaching out to the Church of Scientology, and they just kept knocking him back. They weren't interested, they weren't going to allow him in, they weren't going to help or assist with this documentary in any way, shape or form. Nobody was, which was very disheartening to him. However, he still was going to move forward with this documentary, so he heads out to LA. He gets a couple of people on board who are ex-prominent members of the Church of Scientology, in particular Marty Rathburn, who was very, very high up in the church for a long time, and left several years previously. So he got him on board to try and get some insight into the church. And unusually, because he can't interview anybody within the church, he decides to cast the roles of prominent members of the church with actors to reenact some alleged incidents that have happened within the church. So they cast David Miscavige, who is like the leader of the church, or they cast an actor. They even cast an actor to play Tom Cruise, as Louis rightfully says in this documentary that arguably most people in the world, the only thing they know about Scientology is that Tom Cruise is a member of it. Very few people actually know much about the Church of Scientology, but everybody kind of knows Tom Cruise is a part of it. So he felt it was important that he addressed that in this documentary. And what we get here with this documentary is a really quirky and fun approach of some actually very, very disturbing scenarios that are alleged about the church. Now, there's no real evidence thrown at the church here, and it does make it clear in this documentary that everything that they're presenting is alleged, and they have given the church an opportunity to respond, and they do. Not verbally, mostly written through solicitors and things like that, and they deny all these allegations and things like that. Of course they're going to deny all these allegations, but what you get here is some really creepy behaviour by some of these people obviously connected to the church that follow Louis and the documentary crew about, confront them in very strange ways, escalate the situation by these really weird tactics that the church employ, these confrontational tactics, non-violent, I have to add, confrontational tactics, and it just a really, on one side of it, a really fun watch, because it's always fun watching Louis, because he's so great at remaining calm and turning the tables. Excuse me, I've got an itchy ear. He's so great at remaining calm and turning the tables on some of these extreme individuals that it's just a wonderful thing to watch. And he does it several times in this documentary when he is confronted by people of the church, remains completely calm and level-headed, and just turns the tables on them, even when he knows he's in the right. I mean, obviously he's worked for the BBC for 25 years, he's got all his permits, all his filming permissions, he's got everything in order. Of course, it's the BBC. And then when he's told that he's not allowed to be somewhere, and he knows he is, he will stand his ground, and he will definitely not be moved. And you see that in this documentary, and it's wonderful. So one side of it's disappointing because you don't get, you're not let into the church and you don't learn it from the inside, but what you get is almost like an outsider looking in perspective of the Church and Scientology. And it is definitely a documentary I strongly recommend. I had a huge amount of fun with it. I'm going to actually look to add it to my collection because I really enjoyed it. It's one of my favourite documentaries over the last few years. I really do enjoy a good documentary sometimes. So I'm going to give this one an 8 out of 10. Fans of Louis Theroux, it's a no-brainer. You can't miss this documentary. It's classic Louis. And for those of you in the US who haven't seen this, it's definitely worth checking out. So yeah, that's my review of My Scientology Movie, a really fantastic documentary film, and one that I strongly recommend you checking out. So thank you very much for watching, everybody.